Hello, everyone, and welcome again to K Podcast. I had, on the thumbnail, when you look at my thumbnail, you know what we're about to discuss. Yes, and I'm gonna be dragging the topic that I talked about last time about not marrying single men that were raised by single mothers. Because this is the thing, I had some people in the comment section voice their concern, literally saying that, oh, many men are raised by a single mom nowadays, so good luck finding a man that is not raised by a single mom. And I'm like, I do not understand this concept, because I am not speaking from a place of not knowing what I'm talking about. I am somebody that's my parents are still together till this day. They're still very much together, and my own relationship is intact, so I know what I'm talking about. Now, I do understand that a lot of people want to fearmonger, a lot of women into settling, and telling you that you're not going to find a man out there that has an intact family. So imagine that they're telling you your only choice is to stay with the worst. And I'm not saying that all men that are raised by single moms are terrible. I'm not saying that, but just few of them are understanding to the plight. Few of them do understand the struggle that their mother go through to actually raise them. Majority of them do not. They will mostly, like I said before, become their dads when they grow up. And relationship and marriage will not be something that they uphold that strongly. Now, we're gonna get into this topic, why I decided to tell you guys, I put on my on the title, All Men Are Born at the Wall. Because, first of all, when men are born, they really don't have that much currency going on. And at the age of 18, I feel like every man hits the wall at the age of 18. Hear me out. Many of these men don't have the looks. They are average at best in looks, some of them less than average at best. And when it comes to finance, it is absolutely not in their favor. So I'm starting to think that marriage would be in future something of a class. It will be now targeted towards people with class, people that want to obtain class. Because don't forget, a lot of these men, when they talk on their podcast, they're always talking about, you know, men that make more than 50K, around men that made around 100K. And don't forget, not all men are out here making 100K a year. And when they come to women, they tell women that your value is until you're 25 or something, so then you hit the wall. And I'm like, well, many of you are born at the wall. At 18, you already passed the wall, you've broken the wall. Like, there is no wall there anymore. You are in the no woman's, they call it no man land. I said the no woman's land, because I was doing a research last time. I went into the dating app, the dating world, to see the appearance of men across the world, to see what they look like. And I'm gonna say this, it's not looking good. It is not looking good. A lot of these men are not healthy. A lot of them do not look good, even facially. There is nothing to be attracted to in that. And then knowing that a lot of men are having podcasts where they actually talk about women's look. And I'm like, you know what? Do me a favor as a man, because I feel like sometimes some of you do not look at the mirror. Go into the dating, create a dating account one time. Create a dating account and try to be the woman, and try to screw through, you know, the profiles of other men, because then you will see what we see. A lot of these men are average at best. When it comes to their income, they are not making a lot. So all these young women that you guys be talking about, you are gonna end up at the end of the day lonely. And yes, I still stand 10 toes down when I tell women to avoid men that are raised by single mothers, because most of the time the mothers do a lot for them. The mothers pick up the slack, the mothers do a lot. And because there is no man in that home to actually raise him right and teach him how to be a man, and how to also help out in the household, Many men that are raised by single mothers just see their mothers struggling, cleaning up and cooking and serving them the whole of their life. So they're gonna expect that from their wives. They're gonna expect that from their partners. And it's not gonna be better because you're gonna be thinking you're getting into a relationship with a man, a grown man, and at the end of the day, you're gonna turn into his maid, doing all of that things that his mother does. So it's even worse. The dating market is not looking good for most men. Now, this is the video that I came across, and there is this girl. She was saying exactly what I was thinking. So I'm gonna play this video, and then we're gonna talk about girl dinner because there was another lady that talked about girl dinner and why women, when the girl dinner scenario, why women when they are single they are less stressed. And when they get married, they turn into moms, they turn into wives, they turn into a house caretaker, caregiver, and all of that. And that is very stressful. And the partners mostly just sit their leg up and do absolutely nothing. So I'm gonna play this video right here.
And I'll tell you how it all happened. So I was in a TikTok live, a debate, and it was about three passport bros in there, two guys, a girl, and me, right? And they were talking about how men want younger women under 30 and men want women under 30. And
Oh, I was talking. No,
happened.
I was talking and I didn't notice that my I wasn't connected. So I'm just gonna play this for a while and then I'm gonna give my commentary on this particular video over here. My internet is not working. The place here that we booked for holiday, the holiday home, they said it's with internet. I have to come outside all the time just to get internet to do a podcast. Like it is becoming a pain in my butt, to be sincere. I'm just happy that I'm not gonna be staying here for long anymore. So let me play this, and then I'm gonna be giving you guys, my commentary on this.
So people are asking me, why did I come up with the term, oh, men are born at the wall? And I'll tell you how it all happened. So I was in a TikTok live, a debate, and it was about three passport bros in there, two guys, a girl, and me, right? And they were talking about how men want younger women, men want women under 30, and men want women who have no children, right? Like how they are what men want, and men will leave, like basically women over 30 will be alone, right? and how if a woman is 30, she is at the wall, like she's post wall, she's in no man's land or something like that. So I got up there and I was like, well, like I'm so like no so new to this stuff. So when I first heard it, I was just like, wait, wait. I was like, well, that wouldn't make sense. And he was like, yeah, as time, women's value go down, men's value go up. And I said, well, that
Which is that is the thing. I don't understand when it comes to this value of a topic. Okay, let's talk about men's value. A lot of them are very low valued. A lot of them have let themselves go. Like I said before, I made an experiment recently. Go every man that is probably going to come across this video to do me a favor. Go on a dating app and try searching for your fellow men and see how they look. Like physically, many of them have let themselves go. A lot of men on the dating apps are not dating material, not even marriage material. And then let's say the ones that even a little bit of the looks are men around the age of 18 to 20, let's say 22. Even at that age, some of them have actually lost themselves. A lot of them are not dateable. Physically, they are below average. They are not average at best. A lot of them are already below average. So it's even worse. So when they're talking about a value of a woman, I'm like, just go as a man, do me a favor, sign up into a dating app and try searching for men as a woman. And tell me how many of your fellow men you would want to date in those dating apps. A lot of them are not making a good money. A lot of them are not making a lot of money. And this is the thing, like I said before, in future, marriage will be something that will be only affordable to people that want to earn class and status. It's gonna be for people that have money. So when I hear men out here talking about younger women, I want to marry a young woman, I'm like, many of you don't have the money. A lot of, and this is the thing, all men are born at the wall. A lot of you are born at the wall. And when you turn 18, you hit that wall. And when I hear men around the age of 30 or 30 something or 40 talking about women hitting the wall, I'm like, you and the wall you are very familiar to that wall because you were born there. And men that are born by single mothers, like I said before, and I'm still gonna stand 10 toes down, are even worse. Not all of them, but a majority of them are worse. Because let's not forget, you have nothing. You've seen your mother struggling most of the time, taking care of you, raising the children, and I'm pretty sure not helping. Many of them do not help in the household. Their mothers are like their servants. They clean, they cook, they iron, they do all of that. When they want to look for a woman, even though they have money or not, they're gonna expect that woman to take over their mother's chores. So let me finish.
that's not true because most men are average. Most men don't obtain enough value to get the young, attractive women. I said the women you guys want are in high demand. Men would have to compete. Is that not true? Like, it's not enough women under the age of 30 for every single man who wanted. That would leave some men single. And I said the average man makes about 50K a year. Like the average man isn't up there in enough value to get a young woman, retire her, make her the housewife, and have her raise the kids in a traditional way. Like that's just not happening anymore. I said, so by your logic, wouldn't men be born at the wall since most men don't have value to get the woman they want? And since
True, most men are born at the wall. And this is the thing, a lot of men talk but they don't look at themselves. I feel like sometimes they don't see their reflection in the mirror. They don't see themselves when they talk. They're talking about taking care of a woman, providing. Many of them do not make the money that they talk about. They be talking about, I want to make around 100K and I'm going to go look for a young wife. Let me tell you something, there are a lot of young women out here. If you're not a billionaire, they will not look at you, especially if you're a 40-year-old man. You get me? You think the 50K that you're making a year or 25K, because many of you are not even making up to 50. Let's stop lying. A lot of people be out here acting as if they're making 50K. No, let's stop lying. Average salary, especially in Europe, here is around 35, 25. A lot of people are not making more. And in the US, it's not much more. 35, 35, 35. If you even see 40, you thank God. So many of you are not making to $100, $100K a year. So you definitely, if you're 50-year-old, 30-year-old, and you're going after a girl that is 18, do you think you're the kind of man that she's looking for? You don't hit the wall long time ago. You really think you're the one? No. You can't even provide anything for that kind of woman. You cannot. You cannot take care of a girl like that. So at the end of the day, you guys are literally marketing yourself as undateable and unmarriable. And the only women, because let's not forget, you're the one spoiling this market for yourself, because now these girls are listening to all these podcast men that are talking about make at least up to 100K a year and then look for a young woman. Yeah, that young woman out there is also listening to that. Oh, so he's gonna get at least up to 100K and make me a housewife. So if he doesn't have that much money, I shouldn't date him. Yes, ladies, do not take their word for it. You definitely should take their word on that one. If he doesn't make up to 100K and above, yeah, he is a no-go area. He's a no-go area. That's a danger zone. Take it from the horses. They're telling you for themselves that you shouldn't be dating most of them. They're telling you shouldn't be marrying most of them. You shouldn't be dating most of them, especially if you're young. So if a 40-year-old man comes that doesn't have nothing, or a 35-year-old guy comes to you and you are 18, 20, 19, 22, 23, no. Tell him to go make that 100K and above that they be speaking about. So let me continue.
There are more men, like it's like double the amount of men on dating apps than women. So technically, wouldn't that mean men are born at the wall? And if they obtain value, which most men won't, wouldn't that put them at the same wall as the women they claim, are there? And the whole live got quiet. The whole live got quiet.
This is the thing. A lot of them do know that they are no good. A lot of them do understand that they are born at the wall. Let's not lie. But instead of them doing the work for themselves, they rather reflect, gaslight, and actually, put the blame and talk about something else other than themselves, other than putting work into themselves. They rather gaslight and talk about women's value. And the funny part of it is, when I was in the dating app, I saw men around the age of 50. I'm like, what are you doing in the dating app around the age of 50? Shouldn't you have your family and everything? And I'm like, you know what? This is a red flag, because the older men that are we playing out here are getting older and older, and their looks, no, financially, they are not even there. They don't have the money. They don't have the money, baby. They have nothing. And they're going after young girls. Let me tell you something. You guys are the ones spoiling the market for yourself, especially coming out here talking about you gotta make 100K. Those girls that you're talking about, that you telling to look for men for that have more than you, are only gonna go for men that have more than you too. A lot of these 40s middle-aged men do not have that money, and also the younger men also. And when it comes to looks, like when I was doing this experiment on the dating app, I was like, no. Now I understand why a lot of women don't swipe right. Now I absolutely understand why a lot of women don't swipe right. Like, have you seen yourselves? A lot of you have let yourself go physically. Let's just talk about the physical. You ain't there in the body. You are not attractive at all. A lot of you are not attractive. You're below average. A lot of these men are below average. When I went to check on the women's profile, you see that women are very well organized. They look very well. They look very good. Compared to the men profile, I'm like, I'm not swiping right either. A lot of you are below average. Let's stop lying. You are not even on the average at best.
Like Nightmare on Elm Street. Like it just went bizarre. And I'm just like, you're free to debate me. Like, and so I found out that only 40% of men ever procreated. Most men are lonely. Like, I started finding all this stuff out. And I just was like, yo, I kind of wish I never found out this stuff if I knew it was like this intense for people.
The thing is more than 40% nowadays, especially with divorce being rampant. With a lot of people getting divorced, it's more than 40%. Almost a lot of men that want to pursue younger women and, you know, not do any work for themselves, they're the ones breaking and destroying their marriage. And also men that do not respect or love their wife. Instead, the women they married to, they think the women are supposed to serve them. And this particular behavior, I've definitely seen this behavior on men that were raised by single mothers. This particular behavior of you gotta do everything, you gotta take care of me because my mama did it, is mostly on those men. So now I'm gonna bring up this other video about the girl dinner, and then we're gonna talk about why women have more responsibility in the household while men can slack around. So let me bring up this video.
We have to talk about girl dinner and how it relates to the oppression of straight married women.
This is my meal. I call this girl dinner. Girl dinner. Girl dinner.
This is girl dinner. Girl dinner. Girl dinner. Here's why this matters. When women marry men, they gain about 7 hours of additional daily work, like cooking and cleaning and picking up around the house, compared to single women. This is women without children. So women who marry men gain 7 hours. Men lose an hour of daily work. So the difference for men is very small, but the difference for women is very big. Why?
Girl dinner.
Couple of things. Single men and single women might both be eating girl dinner, but when women marry, they turn into wives, and wives have different expectations than husbands. Women end up cooking more, doing their wifely duties, because they're expected to. Men don't. Another consideration is that men who live at home with women who direct them or who do most of the housework, give them lists, end up having lower standards when they move out on their own. They're fine with the stuff left on the ground or the tidying, and so the women who have higher expectations placed on them end up picking up the slack. Women are often raised to be efficient because they are fully in charge of picking up around the house. They see the inner workings and the way that the gears fit together. So women pick up as they go, whereas men don't always do that. I'm talking broad strokes here, but there is data that suggests that the way that boys are raised and girls are raised within the home and how they take responsibility for tasks ends up bleeding into adulthood. Boys age 15 to 17 have an hour more leisure time compared to girls. While boys are doing things like video gaming, again, this is rooted in data, girls are doing things like running errands, doing housework, and volunteering. Girls are raised with the knowledge that when they become wives, all of the social expectations of being a wife will fall on them, and so they internalize the need to learn those things. Men are not judged the same way that women are when they don't keep a pleasant space. Settling down means something different for husbands and wives. I hate cooking, but I fell into this trap and I tried to learn how. I tried to like it when I became a wife. I feed my kids good food, but I'm a girl dinner girl. I'm a girl dinner wife. And that's okay. Eating pickles and chips for dinner doesn't make me a bad wife.
Well, I'm gonna say this. Well, she said a lot, and I totally agree with her on her statement. This is the thing: women always have a lot to lose when it comes to marriage or relationship. We are the ones that always have get the short end of the stick because society have made it so. And that's why when I hear men out here crying about women don't want to date somebody anymore, or talking about I'm looking for an 18-year-old wife, I'm like, you're looking for somebody that is gonna care for you, take care of you, and be your chauffeur. Now, with that being said, I'm gonna say this for everyone that we're talking about, for people that we're talking about. Oh, a lot of men are raised by single mothers. It's gonna be hard for any woman out here. I'm like, which part of the world are you guys in? Because let me tell you, ladies, if the part of the community where you come from is majority of the people are raised by single moms, yeah, I think you're gonna have to move out of that community and look for somebody else somewhere else that have a two-parent household. It's not a must to be married to somebody from your community. It's not by fire and it's not by force. Look for somebody that can take care of you, and look for somebody that have a family mindset, not somebody that wants to swing his butt around and create chaos. So that fear mongering tactic that they brought to me, like, oh, well, good luck finding a man that is not raised by a single mother. I don't know what kind of community you're from, because my own parents are still married till now. My own family, they're still married till this day. So of course, there is not all men are out here being degenerate. There are some men that are actually sane. They are actually sane. So if you're a degenerate, not everybody's gonna be a degenerate. Just because there were a lot of podcasts out here promoting this degenerate behavior does not mean all men are out here being degenerates and leaving their family and breaking homes. Now, with that being said, I'm gonna say this. Thank you all for joining me today. Do not forget to press that like button and subscribe, and I will see you all on the next one. Have a great day and goodbye.